So if you've been digging around on the internet for new tires and you came across the Venom Power Swamp Things and thought to yourself, well, I don't need a super aggressive swamp tire, well, just hold on, because there's actually some major differences between the Swamp Thing AT and the Swamp Thing MT. Yes, this is super aggressive mud terrain, but there's also some really good on-road characteristics from the AT tires, so we're gonna show you kind of the difference between these two. Now, in general, you've heard us say it before too, some of the differences between an all-terrain or an AT tire and an MT, a mud terrain tire, are basically gonna be how they perform while on the street versus how they perform off-road. So on the AT, you can see that these tread blocks are, number one, there's a lot more of them. They're a lot closer together. This is gonna give you more stability on-road, a little less off-road traction, but they still incorporate some elements that we'll talk about in just a second for some off-road traction too. Whereas you jump to an MT tire and now you've got these massive tread blocks here with huge tread voids, stone ejectors, the super aggressive sidewall here and stuff like that, where this is gonna be your best option for the serious off-road crowd. Or if you just need some of the crazy sizes, like Venom Power is going up to 44-inch tires here, 16.5 inches wide for 30-inch wheels. So there's some crazy aggressive sizes too, if you're looking for a mud terrain in a show truck tire size. So kind of splitting these two, we're gonna focus first on the all-terrain here. So the Swamp Thing AT. Like I said before, you can see that there's a bunch of tread blocks on here and they're a lot closer together. There's also some really good siping on here, so you're gonna see good on-road performance in wet conditions and in snowy conditions as well. Now, I actually ran a set of Venom Powers on a truck that I previously owned and had good results with those, and this is updated to the newest version here, taking what they've learned from the Trail Hunter and the Terra Hunter and putting it into this all-terrain tire. So these two are gonna be available for pretty much everything, all the way down to 16-inch wheels, up to 24s, and Venom Power is giving a 55,000 mile warranty on the sizes that are 22 and less. As far as the tire size themselves, you're looking at up to like 37-inch tires. They got a bunch of 35s, 33s, all your standard aftermarket truck tire sizes too. So the sidewall, they call it a dual pattern sidewall or a dual block sidewall. Basically what that means is we're just looking at two different styles on the side here. And since this is an all-terrain, a lot of other tires in the all-terrain market don't have this aggressive looking sidewall, which kind of stinks in the aftermarket truck world because we kind of want that aggressive styling. Venom Power heard us ask for that, and they put these big aggressive blocks on the side. So it's nice to see that from Venom Power. Jumping over to the MT. So like I was previously saying, now we've got this 4-block tread pattern, which on a lot of MTs you see in kind of more of a straight across design or an alternating pattern. They kind of have this S hook in here, which should give you really good traction off-road. And then they've also incorporated stone ejectors into the outside tread voids here on these big outside shoulder lugs. And same thing as far as the sidewall goes, they've got this multi-pattern sidewall. So it's super, super aggressive, obviously even more so than the AT. Plus, this is a 3-ply sidewall. So if you're a serious off-roader and you're gonna air these things down, you need that strength in the sidewall and the puncture resistance. So they're giving that to you as well. Size-wise, similar story here, all the way down to 16-inch wheels, and like I said, up to a 44-inch tire. So if you've got 30s and you want to run a big, fat mud terrain, this is a decent option for you because there really isn't a ton of tires on the market for these 30-inch wheels, so Venom Power is answering that for us. One thing that we've seen before from Venom Power is how, like on their Terra Hunter and now on this new AT as well, they've really done a good job at squaring off the sidewall too. So if you put this on a wide wheel and you're going with a wide tire, you don't get the weird balloon effect and you don't get this rolled in effect either. It's a very squared off sidewall, which is nice. It just looks really sharp. So another thing about the MT is that they're offering this up to 12-ply rated. So if you're a guy who has a heavy duty truck or you do a lot of towing, you can still get this kind of aggressive tire and be safe to run that on the road as well. Now when it comes to price, you'd think maybe because these are so drastically different that the prices would be drastically different. But if we're comparing a 33 12.5 R20 for both of these, you're looking at slightly over $1,300 for the AT and just a little over $1,400 for the MT. So it really comes down to personal preference as far as what your driving style is like, the terrain that you're gonna be in, the look that you're going for your build, and it's up to you to decide which one of these is gonna work best for your case. So if you have any more questions, you can definitely ask us down in the comments or check out all the full specs, details, and availability on these things at customoffsets.com.